Welcome to Vital Records, the monthly genealogy tip series.
Hello and welcome. This month, I'm going to discuss using historic newspapers for genealogy research, where to find them, and how to search them. I'm generally focusing on access to newspapers from the 1900s and prior. So there are a few ways to access historic newspaper records. You can find them online, digitized and available on a variety of websites. You can find them on microfilm, copies that are housed in libraries and archives, or you can find original printed newspapers. Let's start with online historical newspapers. Of course, not all newspapers are available online, but the selection is growing rapidly. Digital newspapers are available through both paid and free websites, on websites dedicated to newspapers, or as smaller collections on larger genealogy websites. For example, Ancestry.com has various historic newspaper collections on its site. Now, aside from access to these records through Ancestry Library Edition, the Gwinnett County Public Library does not provide access to any paid newspaper subscription websites. However, in our genealogy guide, we do have a link to one free historic newspaper website. Specific to Georgia, there's the Digital Library of Georgia, which provides access to their Georgia Historic Newspapers collection. This is a fantastic resource if you have ancestors from Georgia. There are a number of ways to search this website, but I recommend that you start by checking which newspapers they have that might pertain to your ancestors. For example, if your ancestor is from Gwinnett County, you're going to click on the map of Georgia where the county is located. From here, you will see a brief history of this region of the state, followed by a list of counties in the region and a list of newspapers that they have. Fulton has a lot. Each paper also has a list of dates for which issues are available on the website. Although you can browse each paper, I would recommend that once you know that applicable newspapers are available, that you do a name search. Click the search button at the top of the page. I like to scroll down a bit and use the word proximity search. This feature allows you to search for words that are close to each other on the page, increasing your likelihood of a good match. Next, adjust the date range to be relevant to your search. Here's a tip though. Expand the date range about 5 years after your ancestor died. It's possible that there will be an estate notice that is posted for a number of years as the property is dispersed. Also, select the county of interest and consider adding in surrounding counties as you expand your search. The results of your search will be a list of newspaper pages shown in thumbnails with the title of the paper and the date. You can sort your results by date, either earliest or latest, which will help you evaluate results based on a timeline of your ancestor's life. Or you can search by relevancy. This is the website's guess as to how likely this is to be a good match based in part on word proximity and frequency. Click on each newspaper image to view the paper. As always, I recommend that you right-click and open the link in a new tab. This helps you to navigate back where you started from if you go off on a research tangent. Use the plus and minus buttons at the top left of the image to zoom in and out, and click and drag the image to move around the page. If you want to save the full page, click on View PDF and then click the download button. Or you can click on Clip Visible Area to only save the portion of the page that references your ancestor. Click the Print This Page button to save the document with the source information. In your printer settings, select Print or Save as PDF. A second great resource for free online newspapers is Chronicling America from the Library of Congress. This site has newspapers from all around the United States, not just Georgia. My recommendations for searching here are pretty much the same as at the Georgia Historic Newspapers. See what papers are available first, then run a search for your ancestors in that area. The logistics are a bit different here though. From the Advanced Search tab, you can select a state, but you probably also want to select a specific paper. This site also offers a proximity search in the With the Words search box. Explore your results and click the PDF or JPEG button to download the page. Additional paid genealogy websites dedicated to newspaper records include genealogybank.com, newspapers.com, and newspaperarchive.com. Make sure to check to see if their collections include newspapers relevant to your ancestors before paying for your subscription. Big online database websites are far from the only resource for locating newspaper records. There's also microfilmed newspapers. These are available in many libraries and archives. Our Collins Hill branch has the Gwinnett Daily Post, Atlanta Constitution, the New York Times, and other records available on microfilm. Many newspapers will be available on microfilm at local or state levels. Check the local library near where your ancestor lived, or genealogical or historical societies, and see what they have to offer. They might have their own online database, or they might offer a lookup service. Also, check at the state level with a state library or archive. These repositories should have newspapers on microfilm from throughout the state, or they should be able to help you to locate them. For example, the Georgia Archives has their microfilmed newspapers index available online to browse. Similarly, you may be able to locate original physical copies of historic newspapers. These are more likely to be stored in archives and courthouses or wherever other original record collections are housed. Generally, I would say that this is a last resort if other options aren't available. Access to these physical copies may be restricted and generally is more work to find the information that they contain. Finally, you can also find published books that have abstracted obituaries, births, and marriage records from newspapers. A great strategy for locating these books is to search worldcat.org. Here, you can search for a book in hundreds of libraries with just one search. You can then find out which library closest to you has a copy. You can make a trip, or you can try an interlibrary loan. This is where the Gwinnett County Public Library borrows a book from another system, and then you can check it out with us. Not all libraries loan books out through this service, but it's always worth a try. You can just fill out the interlibrary loan link on our website. I hope that these tips were helpful to you and your genealogy research. If you have any questions about accessing resources available through the Gwinnett County Public Library, please contact your closest branch or our Customer Contact Center. Check back again next month for another edition of Vital Records.